Hey guys, this is Feeding Frenzy 91, and I'm talking about RTX graphics cards. Now, for those of you who don't know, RTX graphics cards, they were announced last year, I believe, at an Nvidia event. I watched it live, and they basically are the new set of graphics cards. It's like how they had the 1000 series, you know, the 1060, the 1080, the 1070. Now they're the 2070 and the 2080. And the biggest improvement, I believe, for these cards is what's known as ray tracing. Now, ray tracing has to do mostly with lighting and graphics. It allows better lighting in games, and therefore, the games actually look a lot better. I've seen it when I was watching it live. Like, they really do look different based on just the lighting. So, it does look impressive. But here's the thing. They were expensive. So, Nvidia is like, okay, let's bring out a cheaper version. They brought out the 2060, which is basically the next, like the 1060. It was an affordable, high-end graphic card. I have the 1060 right now, and that can run most of the games on ultra settings at full 1080p, and you're still getting a good amount of FPS. So, how does the 2060 run, and is it worth it? Here's the thing. These new RTX series, they were kind of shown as 4K gaming cards, right? And I don't think that's what they are. Even in the article, IGN article for the 2060, it says this is more of a 1080p and 1440p card. And I'm like, what? No. If we're going to upgrade, we got to go all the way, man. You can't just expect us to upgrade and be like 1080p and 1440p. So I bet you're wondering, why would cards that be so much more powerful than the 1000 series still be running at 1080p and 1440p? The answer? Ray tracing. Ray tracing may have been the reason that a lot of people buy these cards, but it seems to take a lot of power from the graphics card. When you have the ray tracing up to Ultra, you really sacrifice the FPS. Now, this is for the 2060, 2070 Ti, and basically everything except for the 2080. And if you notice, this is 4K, and most of these games cannot run it at 60 FPS. Some of them aren't even close. So I'm like, what? Why are we purchasing these cards at these high prices if they can't do 4K at 60 FPS with ray tracing set really high? It just doesn't make any sense to me. But it gets a little worse. In the article, the person was talking about Battlefield 5, and he somehow tried to spin this in a positive way, but it wasn't sounding positive. And he was like, at 1080p with ray tracing set to like ultra settings or whatnot, we can get around like 50 FPS. I'm like, wait, what? So you're already not at 4K, which is what these cards, I believe, are supposed to do. You have ray tracing set to ultra, which is good, but you're at 1080p? Not even 1440p? And you still can't get 60 FPS? I'm like, what? How are you trying to spin that in a positive way? For the amount of money you're shelling out for these new cards, I think everything should be at 60 FPS and 1080p. Everything, even if ray tracing is set up to ultra, at 1080p, everything should be to at least 60 FPS. That just didn't make one lick of sense to me. So, in short, I cannot recommend the 2060 as a viable upgrade because, to me, I'm using the 1060 and I'm enjoying the computer games I play at a high FPS, and most of the games I play can be played at ultra settings on the 1060. So the 2060 in of itself, no, cannot recommend it. It's not a true 4K card in my opinion. And the ray tracing seems to just kill the card when it comes to other aspects, such as graphics and FPS. But that's not it. Let's take a look at the 2080 Ti's benchmarks for FPS on 4K. Okay, it's better, but here's the thing. How come some games still can't get to 60 FPS? The 2080 card is an $1,199 card for the Founders Edition. So why would I be paying that much? My gaming PC basically costs around $1,200. So why would I pay that much just for a card, just for ray tracing, when I can't even get up to 60 FPS on all my games with ray tracing set to high or ultra? So it just doesn't make any sense to me. And someone in the comments in IGN was like, they may skip this generation altogether, and I agree. I don't think these RTX or these 2000 series for Nvidia, I don't think they're what they're supposed to be, because I feel like most people want to buy them for both ray tracing and for 4K. And it's almost like they're going to give us a choice, one or the other, for most of them. Even the 2080 Ti for some games will give us a choice. Like, so you either get ray tracing in 4K or you get a high FPS. It's not all three. And I'm like, for that price, you need to give me all three. You need to give me ray tracing, you need to give me full 4K, and you need to give me at least 60 FPS running smoothly for the price that they're asking. So I cannot recommend any of the RTX series or any of the Nvidia 2000 series. If you guys have GTX 1000 series from 1060 and above, I say stick with what you got for now. That's just my opinion. What do you guys think about these cards? Do you guys like these RTX series? And is ray tracing worth it in your opinion? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and may God bless you all.